up to 2009, where she founded the Institute for Media, Environment and Culture in Buchholz at the beginning of 2012. Monika Griefahn has been Chief Sustainability Officer at AIDA Cruises in Rostock since May 2012. And Dr. Griefahn, please tell us a bit about the innovative solutions to reduce emissions in the cruise industry. Thank you.
Yeah, hello, good morning, and I wish you a very nice conference. And of course, we have crucial challenges as well as cruise industry, and as you said before, Griefahn, that you have difficulties to find qualified personnel because your industry is not so sexy. I think everybody has this difficulty because, of course, shipping is not sexy any longer because people want to have more home life, they want to stay somewhere, and it's not everybody who really wants to turn around the world all the time. So qualified personnel, I think, is a subject for everybody, especially if you get more demands. So I think that we have all the same problem, and the cruise industry, of course, compared to tankers and freighters, are only a little portion of the whole business, but we, of course, are even more in the focus. And you see that when there are campaigns of environmentalists, etc., then first they go to the cruise industry, of course, also to get the same results for you as a freighter and tanker industry. So if you look at AIDA Cruises, which is a leading company in Germany in the cruise market, but it doesn't come. Yes, it comes. Takes a while. It is pretty known, but if you compare it then with the whole industry, then you see it is only a little portion. This is the whole part of the cruise industry in the whole shipping industry. So it's only 0.52%. And if you look at AIDA Cruises, it's only 0.02%. So it's quite a little portion of that. But nevertheless, you have all these discussions not only about the regulations, but the regulations come out of some concrete points. And you have, for instance, here the Helmholtz-Zentrum, which is a scientific research center. You see that there are emissions, but they are not mainly coming from shipping industry. But of course, the shipping industry also puts into relation the issues which are in the industrial hotspots. As you see here, the dark areas are in Netherlands like Rotterdam, etc., but they are also in some other areas which have to be reached by ships as well. But nevertheless, the cruise industry is only a small part of the emissions, but nevertheless you see it, and that's why people are not only discussing about the regulations which are coming, but they're saying, what do we need more? So we have to always think about beyond what is the next step, and I think that's has to be very clear for everybody. Of course, the cruise industry is very clear that it's necessary for us, because we sell holidays, to have a clean environment, to work for clean water, clean air ourselves. So it's not your issue because you say you are transporting things from A to B, but for the cruise industry, obviously it is a condition to have clean water, clean air, clean areas. So that's why our philosophy is to work on this. So we have a sustainability strategy, and that means that we do a lot ourselves to do that because our guests want it. Of course, they want to have a nice holiday, so they want to have also their ship where they're traveling with. One has to be clean, has to be obvious, following all regulations for sure, but they expect to have more. They want to have beyond the regulations. So if you talk about Europe, not in the States, but if you talk about Europe, I think people expect you to do beyond compliance. And I think that's a very important point, to know where the driver is in these areas. So that's why we do a lot investments in energy efficient technologies already. Of course, it saves money as well, it's clear. But it's also that it helps to reduce emissions. We have a very close cooperation with science and research partners, with all the main universities who are working on these issues, with partners which are sitting here as well. I mean, like Caterpillar and Siemens, who work with us very closely to improve all these issues more and more. And we see wherever we can on a ship, which is a little town. It's not only an engine to transport something from A to B, but it has everything. It has restaurants, it has swimming pools, it has laundries, it has, it is a hotel. So you have a lot of things which you can do on energy efficiency and on everything which has to do with pollution, like waste treatment, like water treatment, etc., as you would do ashore. So that's additional things, and that's why we have said we want to do more and more, also to be an example how you could do in a little town, because of course a ship with 2,000, 3,000 people is a little town itself. So we have, besides looking at energy efficiency, we have also looked into resource efficiency. Resource efficiency, and Maersk has worked on that as well, as I know, is to work really in closed cycles. So that means that we try to develop also with partners products which go into cycles again. That means a cradle principle. A lot of these features we have on this. We have the three. No, did I do now? Did something wrong? I mean, we have done a lot already on the existing ships, like fuel efficiency measurements, like, for instance, hotel card, which is, you think, very easy and normal, but it's not on a lot of ships. And you save energy because climatization takes a lot of extra energy as well. If you pull out the hotel card out of your room, then at that time you don't have climatization, you save energy. Or you have wastewater treatment, wastewater using again in the laundry and stuff like that. So it's a lot of things which you can really do to have closed loops and closed cycles where you come to very low energy consumption. And we have now on average about 3 liters per person per 100 kilometers, which I think is quite good if you look at the hotel issue in that. We do a lot of technical things like ballast water treatment as well. We have, with a new ship, we have the energy efficient, we have also this malt system, which is like little bubbles underneath of the new ship, which will be built in Japan at the moment. And that saves a lot of energy again, it's about 7%. We have also a new gas exhaust treatment, which I'll show you in a minute. We have also now most of our ships already prepared for shoreside power, so that in the harbors we can have less pollution. For you, it's sometimes a little strange, but if you are here in Hamburg, it's a big issue because the harbor is in the middle of the town, and you will hear that in a lot of towns. I think Sweden is preparing that, and Norway is very insisting on that. And with our new ships, we have also, with Caterpillar, also developed a dual fuel motor so that we can have LNG and traditional fuels, which I think is very important also to get, and that's the point to Mr. Wehrmann, that we get a general legislation on how to handle LNG. Because I know that in Norway, you have now LNG in ferries, but for a cruise ship it's impossible, because you are in a different harbor every day. So you need then an exemption for every day. You need another permit for the harbor, so that will be very difficult to run with LNG for us. But what we will do is, in the harbors which serve us, we will have LNG in the harbor for the harbor use, so that in the harbor you can put off the engines, and you can then save the emissions, and you can save energy, and you can save CO2 and mix as well. Yeah, this is a new ship which has, which will be built, which will start next year from Japan. It has a lot of different features as well. I talked to you about the dual fuel motor, I talked about energy efficient engines, which will save altogether with all these features another 20%. And it will have also the slow steaming form and shape, you see that as well. And I think that will be really the benchmark for the cruise industry in energy consumption and in all the environmental features. On top of that, we have this comprehensive gas treatment, so we have not only sulfur to fulfill the ECA limits, but we have also their NOx and PM, so that in the towns where we are, like here in Hamburg, it is much better emission control on that. And by that we will also have CO and unburned hydrocarbons, which will be saved. You know this SECA system, you don't need that, but another technology we'll try to start here in Hamburg is the LNG hybrid barge. It's basically a cogeneration plant on a little barge, then you can plug in your cruise ship and have the energy again, like with gas directly from outside, but you will have then electricity coming from outside. And the positive thing about that, it's basically like cold iron, but movable. It's more flexible, you can put it everywhere. And a lot of harbors have an interest because in winter you can also produce the additional energy you need in the towns. So I think that's also an important point to have the idea how you can save the emissions and save energy. The saving potential, for instance, here in Hamburg is with CO2 22%, with NOx 88%, and we have also PM and SOx, which will be saved completely. And I think that's very important. This is one plug for the cold ironing. The AIDA salt is already ready for that. So you see how it can look like if you are there. And this plug can take either onshore power, or it can take from this power barge the electricity directly. In the new ship, it will be directly the gas which will be there. It doesn't need any plug. It has a plug possibility as well, but it doesn't need it. It could have LNG directly. I think if a cruise company wants to be, clear on in the message what they want to send, you have to be comprehensive. So we have also the wastewater treatment, we have the water treatment. You see that on our ships because we have a brewery on some of our ships, which we produce beer with our own water. So you see that you can produce clean water on a ship. And we have this, what I talked before, the cradle-to-cradle approach. For instance, started with a carpet. The carpet goes back into the factory and gets new carpet. But we do it also ashore with our office building. We have, for instance, electrical cars, and we have green power in our office building. We have our new office building with geothermic heat. And so we built a whole picture of being, a clean company. And I think we need all the inventions you do, all the engineering power to improve and getting it better. And we need, of course, the legal framework that LNG, which could be handled much easier, because we are very interested in doing it. So we think we have to do it also with non-technical things, like doing, for instance, a project, and we have had together with the university a labeling system for shore excursions, which are sustainable, so that people can select whether they do sustainable shore excursions. And we're doing also something for the sea protection, for the ocean protection, with a little association we have built ourselves, so that we, for our guests and for the members, our teams, they can also do something for directly helping the oceans. We are making now a campaign against microplastics, because a lot of people don't know, for instance, that cigarettes at the beach are not diluting themselves because they are plastic, and that the animals in the oceans eat them and they get really hurt by that. It's not only the oil or the ballast water or whatever, it is also that. By the way, we have started with ballast water treatments as well. You talked about employees. That's very important as well. We need qualified people. We need to keep them. We have our own academy, and we are trying also to get also the best personnel. And it's very difficult, and I tell you, we have to train a lot ourselves as well. And I think we need the social responsibility also for the world, and all the ship owners are also part of this world, and their children are part of part of the future as well. And so if you want to know more, you can look into our report, AIDA Cares. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr.